My boyfriend's friend, Jiang Yueshao, cut off my swimsuit straps, laughing and saying,
"Just a game, sis won't get mad, right?"
My boyfriend, Ning Hao, wrapped his arms around her, saying nonchalantly, "Will she get mad? She'll come running just by my back and call." He's not wrong. Since I awakened my demon charm, I've been losing control of myself. Amidst the laughter, I bent down, holding my chest, and suddenly saw comments on the screen.
Is this going to be that cliché where the female lead is repeatedly abused by a jerk and his side chick before turning the tables?
I hesitated for a moment, then moved to stand beside the aloof and ascetic Lin Qian. Feeling his intense energy, I blushed and whispered, "Can I kiss you?" The room fell silent for a moment. Ning Hao's face turned dark, and he shouted angrily, "Lin Shallow, stop joking. Come here now." Lin Qian was wearing a white shirt with all the buttons fastened, accompanied by prayer beads. His calm demeanor was surrounded by a faint scent of sandalwood. He's someone they couldn't approach or offend. He slightly raised his gaze, almost imperceptibly glancing at me. His eyes were like crystal, clear and transparent, making my heart beat wildly. I recently awakened my demon charm, and its first heat cycle was unbearable. I needed someone to ease my desires. I joined Ning Hao, hoping to use him, but Jiang Yueshao interfered. They played a game of truth or dare, feeding each other blueberries with their lips locked, making everyone scream. I bit my lip, fluttering my eyelashes, showing off a vulnerable yet passionate look. It's a technique demons use to lure prey. I attracted the men around me with a captivating aura. Jiang Yueshao cut my swimsuit straps again, revealing my curves. In the next round, I lost and had to kiss someone for 10 minutes. Ning Hao was wrapped around Jiang Yueshao, impatiently beckoning me with his hand. The people around were teasing, calling him a virtuoso with his girlfriends. I felt uncomfortable. His mouth was just kissed by someone else, and now he wanted me to kiss him? Who wants seconds after someone else? I moved to sit beside the renowned cold and distant Lin Qian. The air around him was cool, yet filled with intense energy, and it turned me on. I subtly leaned onto his arm, looking up at him with doe eyes, and whispered, "Can I kiss you?" Ning Hao stormed over, trying to pull me away from Lin Qian, but I slapped him and flung myself into Lin Qian's arms. As we fell onto the couch, I squeezed his chest and snuggled closer. Lin Qian's voice was hoarse, his body tense. People were shocked, but no one dared to speak. The comments on the screen went wild.
Is she trying to make Ning Hao jealous by using Lin Qian?
Ning Hao finally snapped, shouting, "Lin Shallow! What are you doing? Let go of Lin Qian now." He tried to pull me away but hesitated due to Lin Qian's status. I explained innocently,
"But the game says we have to kiss for 10 minutes, and it has to be with tongues."
I batted my eyelashes and asked Lin Qian again, sticking out a vibrant red tongue, "Can I kiss you like that?" He gritted his teeth, his eyes darkening. I kissed him tentatively, and he let out a stifled moan, his lips passive at first. I played with his tongue, enjoying the rush, and eventually, he kissed me back fiercely. The comments questioned my character, but I didn't care. I was too caught up in the moment. After 10 minutes, Lin Qian stood up, his eyes still foggy with desire. I left, and Ning Hao was seething but couldn't do anything. Later, Jiang Yueshao sneered at me, saying,
"Lin Shallow, you're more cunning than Ning Hao thought."
After our passionate kiss, 10 minutes barely satisfied my hunger. Lin Qian's eyes had become hazy, his lips crimson, with a lingering look of desire. The once ascetic Buddha had been pulled off his pedestal, but thankfully, only I could see that. I was thrilled, patting his rosy cheeks. "Mr. Liu, the 10 minutes are up." Lin Qian returned to his room early, and no one dared to stop him. Ning Hao was fuming, unable to explode because of Lin Qian's reputation. He could only watch as the others teased him, saying he had been
cuckolded.
I ignored them and went back to my room wrapped in a towel. As I rummaged through my clothes, Jiang Yueshao appeared.
"Lin Shallow, I really underestimated you." Ning Hao said you were simple, but you're quite cunning.
She spoke with disdain, full of hostility. I retorted.
Yeah, sister is so great, acting like a tomboy just to make out with a good friend, unlike me, who has to play weak and pitiful.
Jiang Yuexiao's face turned ugly.
What do you mean?
I ignored her. She snatched my bag and threatened to throw it into the sea. I smiled innocently.
Sister is so brave! I'm really scared!
Jiang Yuexiao, enraged, actually threw my bag into the ocean, gloating that no girl on the boat would lend me clothes. I shrugged.
Sister is so fierce. I guess I have to go borrow clothes from the guys, they'll probably be thrilled.
Jiang Yuexiao didn't expect such a brazen response and cursed at me, calling me a
shameless vixen.
Ironically, my demon form is a red fox. I burst into laughter, patted her shoulder, and said,
Only you treasure Ning Hao like he's something precious. Girlfriend and brother, what a joke.
I mussed up my hair, leaving red marks on my neck. Wearing just a towel, I knocked on Lin Qian's door. He had regained his usual ascetic demeanor, as if nothing had happened. I trembled, asking pitifully,
Mr. Liu, may I come in?
He frowned.
Miss Lin, this isn't right.
I feigned tears. I know I'm causing trouble for Mr. Liu, but I really have nowhere else to go. They threw my bag into the sea, those guys are scary. I fell into his arms, begging for help. Lin Qian half reluctantly caught me. He warned. Miss Lin, I am a man. I looked up innocently. Is that why I shouldn't come in? He grasped my misbehaving hand, his fingers strong. The room seemed to stretch endlessly behind him like a devouring abyss. I asked in a high-pitched voice. Why? Lin Qian yanked down my towel, pulling me into the room. The comments on the screen continued.
What's going on? Did we change channels? This is too intense.
I chuckled at the pop-up comments, but Lin Qian's expression turned severe.
Find it funny?
I hugged his shirt, asking if he was upset. He didn't speak, and under the dim light, I freely admired him, his white skin, beautiful collarbone, and visible chest muscles with a hint of pink. I was entranced. In a teasing tone, I asked, Is the top part more upset or the bottom? Lin Qian's white shirt covered my view as he threw me onto the bed. He said, Put it on. We'll buy new clothes after we disembark. The comments and I were stunned. Lin Qian warned sternly. Miss Lin, you're Ning Hao's girlfriend. Please behave. I gazed at him brightly, unbothered. He and another girl were like that, and let them bully me. He's no longer my boyfriend. Lin Qian's face turned red, rebuking. Even so, I'm not someone you can handle carelessly. He turned to the bathroom, and water sounds began. I ground my teeth, dressed slowly in his shirt, enveloped in his scent of sandalwood. The suppressed hot flame surged again. The air seemed hot and humid. I unconsciously moaned, gripping the pillow in frustration. The faint scent of sandalwood seemed to seep into my body. Ugh. I really couldn't take it anymore. Perhaps it was the excitement from Lin Qian that triggered my heat phase. But he remained as cold as ever. What should I do? Does he really have no interest in me? Suddenly, the comments exploded.
What the hell? Male lead, what are you doing?
I squinted and licked my lips. TSK, what a stubborn man. Fine, I'll play along just one last time. When Lin Qian emerged from the shower, I had already put on his white shirt, buttoned all the way to the top. The oversized shirt revealed a lot of my fair shoulders and neck, looking every bit like a boyfriend's shirt. It was thin and sheer, and without a bra, everything was slightly visible. Lin Qian quickly turned his head, not daring to look at me. I got out of bed and walked to the door.
Mr. Liu, thank you for taking me in.
I'm sorry to burden you. I reached for the doorknob, but Lin Qian rushed behind me, annoyed.
With you looking like this, where do you think you're going?
I gave a pitiful smile.
Mr. Liu, you're right. I am that lonely woman you mentioned. If you truly don't like me, I'll listen to you and find someone else. I won't bother you anymore.
Bang! Lin Qian slammed the door shut, blocking my escape. His breath was close, his tall figure casting a shadow over me. His voice was hoarse, each word feeling like it was forced out. Lin Shallow, you can't leave. You can't seek someone else. I whimpered. Mr. Liu, you can't do this. You clearly don't want me, so why are you so domineering? Lin Qian fell silent, but I could feel his chest heaving against my back. Unable to contain my smirk, I said.
I really feel awful. I know you don't want me, but someone else will want me. Please let me go.
No. Lin Qian's resolve started to crumble, and I had to add fuel to the fire. Suddenly, a fluffy red fox tail burst from under the shirt, wrapping around Lin Qian's leg. The vibrant red hue was gaudy yet alluring enough to leave him breathless. I frantically tugged at the hem of the shirt, trying to hide the tail. But my arms and shirt only tightened around my chest. The thin fabric didn't cover anything. I cried. Mr. Liu, please don't look at me. Please let me go, or I really won't be able to hold on. Lin Qian's patience shattered. Veins stood out on his powerful arms as he wrapped them around my waist, pulling me hard into his embrace. His head buried in my shoulder, he murmured softly. No, you can't leave. You can't seek anyone else. It can only be me, only me. The lofty flower finally fell into the dirt. I was so excited my ears perked up. This was too thrilling. The comments erupted.
I can't believe this. This is what happens when the cold Buddha meets the fox demon lead. If you knew my product, you'd think I was blessed.
I was starving with excitement. I collapsed into Lin Qian's arms and boldly hugged him. Just as I was about to kiss him, I noticed a hint of crimson in his eyes, his gaze fragmented. Mr. Liu? He looked at me sorrowfully, almost breaking apart. Lin Shallow, I am not an object for you to use to make someone jealous. I'm not anyone's substitute. You can't treat me like that. The comments went wild.
Oh my god, why didn't anyone tell me that the cold Buddha would evolve into a pure love wife after breaking his vows? Who's gone mad? I've lost it.
I gasped, losing interest in the comments. I shoved Lin Qian onto the bed, sitting on him, squeezing him firmly while gently coaxing. You're not an object, not anyone's substitute. I don't like Ning Hao at all, I only want you. Lin Qian bit his lip. But I'm different from the others. I'm scared. I pressed my finger against his lips, my tail curling around his waist. Shoo, baby, you won't hurt me. Because I'm different too, and I really want to eat you up. We're meant to be together. The beads of emotional detachment shattered, scattering everywhere. Lin Qian's eyes gleamed brightly, like a beast's gaze. No longer resisting, he let desire overwhelm his rationality. Lin Qian was inexperienced. Lin Qian was shy. Lin Qian was fierce. He fed me well. It was thrilling and made me feel blissful. The buttons of my shirt flew everywhere, it was unwearable. Thankfully, we docked the next day. I stepped on Lin Qian's chest, ordering him to buy me clothes. He held my ankle and kissed me for a long time before reluctantly letting go. When he returned, he had reverted to the aloof Buddha again, as if everything from last night was just a bizarre dream. But when I finished dressing in a sundress and linked my arm with Lin Qian's, I noticed his ears turning slightly red. What a cute reaction! Before leaving, we inevitably ran into Ning Hao and Jiang Yueshao. Ning Hao looked worn out and rushed over to grab me.
Shallow, where were you yesterday? Do you know how dangerous it is at sea?
Feeling Lin Qian tense next to me, I caressed his arm for comfort, pretending to be scared as I huddled closer. My eyes turned red, ready to cry.
I
was with Qingchen last night. He was the only one willing to help me, and you all. Ning Hao's eyes flickered as he replied awkwardly. I was wrong yesterday. I will make it up to you today. Your phone wasn't reachable, you didn't block me, did you? Shallow, don't sulk. It's dangerous for a girl to be out alone. If your clothes got damaged, you could borrow from Yue Xiao. Or come to your boyfriend for help, we could, anyway, what's the big deal about Mr. Liu? Mr. Liu, I really appreciate your help yesterday. I want to thank you on her behalf. Lu Qingchen barely lifted the corner of his mouth. No need. The comments were hysterical.
His cap is green, and he's thanking his rival? I was so annoyed watching that scummy couple. But this maneuver actually got me a smile from our Buddha guy.
I exaggeratedly covered my mouth with my hand.
Phone? My phone is in my bag, but the bag was thrown into the sea by Jiang yesterday, and my clothes are in there too. But Jiang said no girl would lend me clothes. Didn't she tell you?
Jiang Yuexiao was furious.
Lin Qian. You green TB asterisk TCH, always stirring the pot.
Ning Hao, after so many years of brotherhood, do you trust her or me? I quickly intervened.
I'm fine. My swimsuit was cut, my bag, phone, and clothes were thrown into the sea. I have nothing to wear.
I hugged myself, embarrassed and scared, laughing bitterly through unshed tears.
But I know Jiang didn't mean to. You've known each other for years. Don't fight because of me. Jiang doesn't like me. I can just leave.
Jiang Yuexiao looked like she could explode. Ning Hao immediately turned the blame on her, and they began to argue. The comments flooded in. Finally, we have a confrontational female lead against green tea. Having this green tea face off against the second female lead is perfect, a classic case of using poison to fight poison. Yawning, I pulled Lu Qingchen to leave, but Jiang Yuexiao yelled at me, Ning Hao. Do you really think she's a good person? Do you honestly believe she was just sleeping last night and didn't do anything?
She's been pulling you down for ages. Can't you see that?
Ning Hao said impatiently. Shallow is too innocent to do that sort of thing. In fact, no one believed Lu Qingchen would ever do anything with me either. Jiang Yuexiao was on the verge of being choked by his words.
Fine. Look what's on your simple girlfriend's neck.
I sighed, remembering that Lu Qingchen was great, except that he had a tendency to bite when he lost control. It was like he was a little puppy, though it didn't hurt and was actually nice. But it wasn't visually appealing. Ning Hao saw the marks on my neck and tried to stay calm. Shallow, what's this? You. It was time to clarify things, otherwise, my Lu Qingchen might become a broken, sad puppy again. I carelessly flipped my hair, openly disdaining him.
Ning Hao, from the moment you kissed Jiang, we were done. I don't like using public goods, it's just too dirty. Besides, everyone knows you were just playing with me. So, I was playing with you too.
Ning Hao's face turned pale. Shallow, you're doing this on purpose to annoy me, right? Stop joking around, I promise I won't do it again. Feeling Lu Qingchen tension up, I grabbed his collar and kissed him right there. Lu Qingchen's ears turned bright red, and he clumsily wrapped his arms around my waist. He was so cute. After the kiss, I lounged in Lu Qingchen's arms and said to Ning Hao. About my lost phone, clothes, and bag, I'll send you an invoice. Actually, thanks for helping me find true love. I really love my clean and beautiful baby, not just playing around. No one dared to mess with Lu Qingchen, especially after what everyone saw yesterday. On the way back, Lu Qingchen held my arm tighter and kept glancing at me before looking away. He seemed like a puppy holding back its urine. The comments on the screen began to scroll.
What happened to the cold Buddha? How did he get trained like a dog?
I smiled delightfully and intertwined my fingers with Lu Qingchen's. Baby, do you know what a man's middle finger length represents? I asked boldly. Apparently, it represents something else. Stroking his middle finger. It seems way more than just that. Lu Qingchen's face turned red again. Curiously, I asked. What do you like about me? Lin Qian spoke slowly. In middle school, we attended the same school. I was short, and once, some seniors bullied me, demanding money. You chased them away and returned my wallet. You said this area was under your protection, and I became your little brother. You called yourself Cold Month Knife Edge Bloodsea Killer God, but since I was too weak, you temporarily made me the Brahma Sacred Child. You asked me to chant some Buddhist scriptures after your fights, basically setting the atmosphere. But I transferred schools just a few days later. I was surprised. Who knew my forgotten teenage memories would resurface in such a complex way? My face turned red, and I let out a sharp laugh.
You knew all about me back then but never said anything? Why did you suddenly talk so much at this moment?
His ear tips were red, showing a bashful expression.
As long as you're willing to spend your emotions on me.
I was stunned. It turned out his setup as a mystical Buddha was because of me. Lin Shallow, you had no idea you were causing so much drama. The comments went wild again.
A cold and pure female lead was actually a past spiritual little sister? This is what a middle school nickname looks like? It's so funny, it's going to kill me.
Days later, Lin Qian knelt before me, wearing a hollow black gold muzzle, white shirt, black pants, chest strap, and leather choker. Only then did I realize how well I'd scored. Unfortunately, the long-gone comments couldn't see this anymore. Tears streamed down my face. I flipped him over and savored him inch by inch. So delicious! We were entwined until the end, and he whispered in my ear, his face red. Shallow, I love you too. Peeling away the cold exterior, the inside was sweet and tender. Clumsy, yet sincere.